What do you think the gist? I've got a bunch. I did anyway. Son of a bitch. I built this riddle for electricians, and here's the answer. So this meter socket has been intentionally miswired so that the hot wire is on the neutral, and then there's a hot wire there, and the neutral's over there. It's because this was done incorrectly. So the question is, what will the voltage and amperage be to this hot plate if I install this yellow jumper this way, and all the breakers are on? And then what will I get for current readings and voltage readings if I install a red jumper this way? The hot plate is rated 1100 watts at 120 volts. Okay, with the yellow jumper in, we get 8.8 amps and 119 volts. That would be basically operating properly. Now, with the red jumper in, we get 240 volts almost and 17.5 amps. The amps go up with the voltage, not down with the voltage. Because so many people got that answer wrong, I'm going to explain the math behind this a little bit more at the end of the video. But just the simple answer is Ohm's law. But let me show you the path the electricity took through the display first. Okay, so this is the path that determines the voltage at the receptacle. You have two holes on the receptacle. One of the holes is connected to this bus bar. And that bus bar, if we follow it up to the white wire, is here, which I said is now energized. So one of the holes of the receptacle is constantly getting 120 volts. The voltage applied to the other hole is determined by where this black wire connects. So this black wire goes up here, on here, and now is here. So the voltage at the receptacle is the difference between that and this. When I go here, I now am sending 240 volts to the receptacle. When I go here, the two halves of the receptacle are getting the normal, one hot, one neutral. Okay, now I have two hot plates. This one's rated at 1100 watts at 120 volts. This one is rated at 1000 watts at 230 volts. If they are both about 1000 watts, why does this one draw 17 amps if I put 240 volts to it, and this one draws only 4.5 amps if I put 240 volts to it? The watts is dependent on the design of the equipment. It's designed to be that wattage at that voltage. So watts equals volts times amps. So in order to get a higher wattage for a lower amperage, or the same wattage for a lower amperage, when you make the equipment, you have to give it a different resistance. So if I hook up my ohm meter to this 1000 watt, 120 volt rated hot plate, I get 13.2 ohms. If I do the same thing to this 240 volt, 1000 watt hot plate, I get 55 ohms. So if you just take the same piece of equipment and double the voltage, you get those sparks you saw at the beginning of my video. If you change the resistance and change the voltage, then you can get the same watts for less amps. Thank you very much.